Hello guys, I'm VisioRacer and welcome to the new video. This time about truck engines. And when there's a company buying out a new truck, the only thing they are interested in is power and fuel efficiency. But we are engine geeks and we always want to know more how the power is actually made. This is going to be about the strangest truck engines. Starting off with a KrAZ 255. This truck had a YAMS 238 naturally aspirated diesel engine with overhead valve train and water cooling. There was also a oil cooler, preheater, and you could get it in a turbocharged variant as well. The whole engine weighed about 1.3 tons, but when combined to the 5-speed manual gearbox that had additional 2-speed gearbox with high and low gearing, it had a towing capacity of 30 tons. Next one coming, Sentinel DG Series, which was DG4, DG6 and DG8 by 8 wheels or 4 axles. And the DG8 was the first truck with 4 axles and twin steering, meaning that those front 2 axles could actually steer the vehicle. The interesting part is that there was no internal combustion engine, but a steam engine that had 2 double-acting cylinders, up to 5 liters of volume. Actually 2.5, but since they are double-acting, you double that. Before there was a 19-liter engine, but that 5-liter engine had about 93 horsepower at 660 RPM, so it was nothing fast, but well, it had its torque, which always matters in these trucks. There was a large boiler which from cold to full pressure of 19 bar took 2 hours to warm up, so it's nothing you would want to daily drive actually. There was a 1045 liter water tank and the mileage it was able to cover was only about a few tenths, so nothing really amazing. Coming next is Mercedes V10 of the 400 series. Actually it was the 403. It came in 1970 when there was a new federal transport requirement for every truck to have at least 6 kilowatts or 8 horsepower per 1 ton. It was naturally aspirated and, well, there was also a turbo variant. Later there was a 440 series, which was much more popular in 1990s, being Euro 2 compliant. The naturally aspirated version had 330 horsepower, but the turbo variant was much more powerful with 500 horsepower. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. Next one is Foden FD6, which was used in S21 truck. And this FD6 was a 2-stroke inline 6 engine, and there was a root supercharger which provided fresh air into cylinders and scavenged out the exhaust fumes. It was more appropriate in short travel hauling, because as they later find out, it was not good for longer distances like in Australia, where the engine easily overheated. There were a few which were made to be marine engines and, well, that's actually much better usage for it than long travel distances. one is something you actually may have heard before. It's the Tatra V10, but not the naturally aspirated version, but the turbo variant, which had 360 horsepower, 40 horsepower more than the naturally aspirated variant. There was overhead valve train, of course air cooling with oil cooling, and since it was required to be Euro 1 compliant, the cooling was much more efficient and the whole engine was quieter. It had a single disc 420mm clutch combined to a 5-speed transmission, which also had an additional 2-speed gearbox for high and low gearing. This Tatra was tested at home polygon, but also Russian Siberia. Last but not least is the Kamen Knocker, unofficially known. Officially known as Como TS3, and it was an inline 3 engine with 6 pistons. There was a single cylinder for 2 pistons, and each piston had its own rocker arm pushing on that crankshaft mounted below those cylinders. There was a Rouge supercharger, which, like in the Foden case, also provided fresh air and scavenged out exhaust fumes out. The engine was nothing large, it only had about 3.3 liter, had 106 horsepower, but there was a healthy torque of 366 Nm. There was also a 4-cylinder version meant to be produced, and it actually ran 1.2 million miles, but has never been produced. Is there any other engine you would consider be strange or cool in trucks? Please submit it in the comment section below and I will take a look at it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Cheers!